couldn't get it that high.
Alright. I got notes because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna try. Can you hear me?
No.
Testing. Good enough. Testing. Testing. Is it just my voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not working. How about now?
Yeah, there you go, James.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. Chris invited me, and I was just like, yes, I love CRC. I want to be back. So, even though I'm very nervous right now, there's a lot of people here, a lot of new faces. I'm so excited to be here. But I kind of want to give the CRC staff another applause. You guys come in every day and you put your own personal lives aside to help other students, and it's hard. It's hard. Some days you got your own stuff going on. As for me, when I worked here, I was in recovery too, so I had my own emotions and feelings, and it was hard. So you guys do a great job, and we really appreciate you guys because you guys changed my life. I'm sure everybody else here. So yeah, so 1 year exactly last year I graduated, and it was the happiest day of my life. I never thought it was going to happen. I thought I would never finish here, and yeah, it just makes me emotional just thinking about like how far I came. Yeah, it's just there's three things that in recovery that I felt were important for me, and I hope is important for you guys. Is the first one was be faithful to the little things that are given, that are shown to you. I decided to focus on just like the small things in front of me, the CRC class, the meetings, the my job, and that made it less overwhelming on me. And people started seeing my life change. So that was the first one. My second one was do not put your identity in your past. That was something that I struggled with mightily. Was just the things that I had done. I had thought that that's who I was, and I had to let that go. So that was my first thing was just this is a newness of life. Like recovery gives us a newness of life, and this is a new chapter in your life. And so that meant throwing away everything that I had done before, just everything that I thought I was, or everything that all the mistakes that I had made. I had to let that go. And so that was important to me. CRC helped me with that, by the way. The third one was don't compare your journey to others. I was totally, when I was first in recovery, I thought if I wasn't impressive, like, why even try? And I thought I needed like 3 years of sobriety to even make a difference. And the one thing I noticed was you can make a difference with 24 hours of sobriety. I've seen people with like 40 years just get ignited because somebody new came along. And so that was important to me, to realize that our journeys are all different. We have different timelines. We relapse at different, I relapsed a million times, so it was just different than everybody around me. What else? Addiction is familiar to me. My two parents are here. They both were in recovery. And my stepmom has 30 years?
Yep.
You guys need to know something about recovery, you ask her. My dad's got almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's familiar. In our family, I had two cousins, two aunts, and uncle pass away in the last 2 to 3 years because of addiction. So it's something that is very prevalent. Since graduation, I've been working on a master's degree. CRC. And I never even thought I would finish high school, so cool.
Me either.
I sing vocals in a metalcore band, and I've been doing some acting, which is crazy, in Denver. And so I don't say this to like make you think I'm impressive or anything. The thing that I realized with sobriety was I had this like fearless courage all of a sudden to try things and to do things and to put myself out there, and that's what like the CRC taught me. And so it's been really good. My senior year, my last drink was July 8th, 2020, and it was right before my senior year here at CU, and my senior year was incredible. I got to try for the football team here, even though I didn't make it. It's okay, I didn't really want to make it. So, that opportunity gave me like an interview with Boulder Daily Camera. They wanted to hear my story, how I got there. They wanted to hear about the CRC. It was really cool. I got on a podcast and I did where is it, dude? I did a Sober AF event, Dude's here, and spoke at a Sober AF event, so it was really cool. My senior year was amazing, but it did not start that way. So I got accepted to CU on my fourth try. I was 25 years old. Took forever, but this was my dream school. I wanted to come here and go to school, and it took persistence. But when I got here, I was stricken by a drinking problem, and so my first year here, I failed 3 classes, and then I failed another class, and I got academically suspended for my grades, and then it just went into a spiral. I started going downtown to Pearl Street, not a good place, and then I had a girlfriend here when I was living here in an apartment, and she left me, and I had a psychotic break almost. I started drinking just even worse, and it's kind of hard to talk about. It's weird. But I lived in an apartment alone, and I started drinking by myself, not going to class, wasn't really allowed to go to class. Found myself just being in Boulder alone. My best friend was the liquor store clerk here. That was the only guy I talked to. And it was awkward because I was drunk. I was so alone that on Father's Day 2019, I decided I wanted to commit suicide, and in a blackout state, I didn't even know what was happening, but my family found out about it, and I just woke up with like police in my apartment. Like I had no idea I blacked out. I had no idea what happened. And, police showed up in my apartment and sent me to the hospital. I had to be at Boulder County, or Boulder Community Hospital, I think it's called. And the hospital administrator actually recommended that I go to the CRC. And so that's how I found out about CRC, was in the hospital. And so this hospital lady promised that, or made me promise her that I would go to the CRC if she would let me out of the hospital if I went to the CRC. And so I didn't, of course. I was like, yeah, I'm going, peace. Go to the CRC, went straight to the liquor store. Kept drinking. I wanted to stop drinking, but I didn't know how. I wanted to. And unfortunately, it took me about 3 months to actually come to the CRC. once it got bad enough, I remembered what that hospital lady said. So that's one thing that I always try to tell people, is always talk about CRC, because you never know who's listening, when they might come at the right time, and that's what happened with me. So I started going to the CRC finally. And the entire time I was drinking the entire time, going to meetings drunk, going to events drunk. Like, I didn't know how to function without alcohol. And but the one thing I did know was, by going to the CRC, was a seed was like planted inside me to try and get sober. And I started seeing sober people. I started seeing sober, how they lived, how they did things. And so each time I went to a meeting, even though I was relapsing and drinking and relapsing and couldn't stop, seeing people at the CRC, I still was like growing that seed of trying to get sober. Finally, it stuck with me. I had about 3 months of sobriety. And then something happened called COVID. I don't know if you guys remember that. That was fun. COVID happened. I started drinking again. Obviously, a lot of us did. We got, very lonely. And thankfully, because of COVID, there was a lot of openings at core housing, because everybody went back home. And where's Rob? There you are. Rob offered me an apartment at core housing, and that completely changed my life. It was just a different environment, put me around other students that were sober. So then I actually started getting sober and coming to the CRC more often, and became a leader on campus. My goal was to just wake up and be sober for the CRC. That was just what I did. And I took it as if like my word was everything. So I almost had an agreement with Rob and the CRC that I wasn't going to use while I was in core housing. And I made it my word that I was not going to use. And so I did whatever it took. Going to meetings, going to therapy. It was just important to me that even if I did relapse, I knew that they were going to be there for me. But it was just, my word was everything to me. And so that's what changed for me. I ended up finding somebody I looked up to. Rob was the program manager here. And so all I did was just follow him around. I was like, he's sober. He's got like 7 years or whatever. I don't even know how I'm going to do that, but I just followed him around. And it was COVID, so there was nothing to do. And so I served him and followed him, watched how he did things on a daily basis, how he went to work, what meetings he went to, how he did things daily. And that just helped me. It gave me an example of like what sober life looks like. And I followed his techniques, and I was accountable to him. So each time I wouldn't show up to the CRC, or I didn't go to my therapy sessions, or I didn't go to meetings, like Rob would be like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm sad. Like I'm sad this week. I'm not feeling good. But I was accountable to somebody, and I had an example. And Rob, I really appreciate you being there for me. Like, COVID was hard. It was just me and you at some point. I was like on campus, like nobody was here, and so that was really helpful. I got sober. I hit a year. Good things started happening. Tried out for the football team. It was a good experience. Had an interview, and just I was rolling. I'm still going strong. Almost have 3 years. Something like that. Almost have 3 years. Yeah, this place changed my life. CRC gave me the tools. I had examples, people around me that were getting sober, showed me how to do it, showed me how to stay strong. They were always there. This is like a family. A lot of people, even strangers here, it still feels like family. Like I come back here after a year, people are still like, hey, opening their arms, so excited. It's awesome. I think the message, my whole message is the mandate to recovery is community. You can't do it alone. Don't do it alone. I try to do it alone. Doesn't work. I'm so glad I have parents that understand recovery and what it takes. Some of you don't have parents that understand. And I think, I get it. Like this CRC is a family for you. If you have people that don't understand, you're not a problem. You're not what you've done. So yeah, that's why I love CRC is everybody's here for everybody. No matter what, even if you graduate, even if even if you stop coming around. When I stopped coming around, I was always welcomed back. So you have a family here, and you have the ability to change your family name forever. Like my dad made the stop to his addiction, and it kind of changed the course for me. I have an example for our family, and I'm hoping that my kids never have to see me drink. And then, with generations forward, I hope that this family addiction past is going to go away. So, recovery takes one day at a time. It's like a consistent yes every morning. So, for me, it was just every morning, I was just yes to my recovery. This is what I want to do. My morning, this 24 hours, I'm just going to focus on the 24 hours. And it's got me here. I've tried to not overwhelm myself and just focus on this one day. Stay sober today. Wake up sober tomorrow. That's just the goal. That's what we're doing. Takes a consistent yes. The other thing is don't make it about yourself. Serve someone. Follow, find your friends. Find somebody that you can be there for consistently. It helps. It really does. I think that's really all I have. I just want to encourage you guys to be a light on campus to the other students that are struggling. Because this place was really a light for me when it was a nightmare. So this place was here for me. It was just a place I felt comfortable. It was somewhere I could go. Somewhere I felt loved. Somewhere where people actually cared about my success. The CRC helped me get back into school. I was actively suspended. They were there for me. They helped me graduate. I wouldn't be here without the CRC. So, I think that's it. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, staff, so much for inviting me back. This was really cool. So many family, so many people here. It was bigger than last year. So.